Yeah, you remember back in the day when they had you know the the old fashioned shows, the Power Rangers and all that stuff. They had the old fashioned TV shows, and it was a pretty fun time. I mean, people really they really they had fun. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I used to watch the Power Rangers, and I used to run around the house with my little toy squirt guns, and it was completely fun. Obviously, you're running around, you're like, and you're just kind of having fun with it. I mean, and now, nowadays you got the dumbest shows on television, and I kind of miss the old fashioned shows. I mean, didn't you miss when your children used to get plenty of exercise? When they used to run around pretending to be Power Rangers, jumping off the couch, jumping off the chair, running outside when in the middle of winter when it was snowing out, jumping off piles of snow and throwing snowballs and having cannon fights and mimicking real TV shows and real movies and really getting out there and being active. You know, Nowadays they ain't doing nothing. Yeah, these TV shows that have kids sitting on their butts all day. You know, it's pretty sad. I mean, back in the day, I remember I used to run around all the time. I'd be like, running around the backyard with the other kids. The squirt guns and the little fancy little guns with that. And you hit it and it makes noise. Deal, 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 deal. You get the cap guns. And you got the super soakers, which everybody wanted a super soaker. I finally got a super soaker. I was like, I mean, what happened to those days? What happened to those days? Those are days I miss. Those are the good old days. The days when you didn't have to worry about your children being high on drugs, but you had, the only thing you had to be worried about was your children being high on Power Rangers. I mean, I'd rather have that than my children being high on drugs. I'm just like the olden days. If you were like a sports coach, the worst thing you had to worry about was was one of your players, getting some girl pregnant. Now you got to worry about him, doing drugs, taking steroids, getting some girl knocked up, doing all this other stuff. You got to worry about a lot more nowadays. But it's not really, I mean, I remember, getting done watching a Power Ranger show, and it's like, you get done watching the show, and, you come to the kitchen to eat or whatever, and, you eat real quick, and you eat in like 2 minutes. That's how I used to do it. Out the back door, out into the backyard with the rest of the kids, and, you run around for 3 hours, because you're so hyper, you just got done watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or something like that. You're like, I got you, don't move, and it's and then you finally get tired out like 3 hours later. It's like 8:30 at night, and it's time to go inside, and you're like, inside, roll in the bed, and then you wake up and you do the same thing over again. Those were the fun days. Those were the fun days.